Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Nako, meron na naman tayong isang inaabangang pagbabago, requirement, dagdag requirement sa ilang mga work permit holders. And I think kung talaga ito ay matuloy, malaki ang impact nito sa mga kababayan natin. Whether we like to admit it or not, yes, Filipinos are generally good English speakers. Pero kahit na totoo yan, marami pa rin tayong mga kababayan ang hirap makapasa ng mga language proficiency tests na kung minsan ay required sa ilang mga immigration programs dito sa Canada. Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon, meron po kasing isang proposal, ang IRCC. Malalaman natin yan soon, Kasi sabi, magpa-publish sila, Miss G, ng parang resulta nung naging consultations nila over the past year, ganyan. Yeah. Tungkol dito. So we'll get an idea on how this could really turn out once it is implemented. Yes. Welcome muna ulit kay Miss G. Geraldine Villarreal ng GH Administration.
Yes. This is the same Geraldine. Medyo kulot lang tayo today.
Okay lang yan. Dapat daw talaga diba? Upgrade, papalit-palit ng look. Para lagi looking fresh. Okay. Ano ba itong pinag-uusapan natin? Sabihin nila kung saan lang natin to hinugot. I will refer you to the official source sa canada.ca. So ito kasi merong tinatawag na Forward Regulatory Plan for 2026 to 2028. Pag mahanap niyo itong article na to, may listahan po dyan. Ayan, nakita niyo yan? Iba't ibang mga links on the regulatory initiatives. Yung mga gustong gawin ng IRCC, mga proposal ng IRCC. Kabilang po sa mahabang listahan na yan ay, ito. Okay. Last year pa to actually nilabas, inintroduce. So regulations, amending the Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulations. Ang gusto, ito magkakaroon ng language testing requirements for certain work permit applicants under the International Mobility Program or IMP, kung tawagin. Mamaya ipapaliwanag sa atin ni Ms. G kung ano ba tong IMP na to. Sino ang under niyan, anong uri ng mga work permits, Pero, just to give you an idea, kung ano na ang status ng proposal na ito, so broad consultations with provinces and territories were undertaken nito pang Feb 2025. Pati ang private stakeholders daw, kinonsulta na noong November 2025. Kaya naman, ang target date for pre-publication of the final amendments na aabangan natin sa Canada Gazette is this coming spring-summer 2026. So, kailan ba usually itong spring-summer 2026 na update nila? Tapos magkakaroon ng 30-day comment period tungkol dyan sa ilalabas nila, Missy. Kailan ba to? Spring-summer? I guess around this time.
Yes, anytime can happen. Can happen.
Okay. So, ano mangyayari? Sorry, Miss Gia, para lang mabasa natin yung official dito. Okay. So, saan na yun? Yan. An amendment is being proposed to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulations to authorize the department to require applicants to submit language test results from a designated third-party organization to demonstrate that they meet applicable language proficiency requirements. Okay? Ang objective ay improve the reliability, transparency, and efficiency of language assessments under IMP and help ensure that only those who are best positioned to successfully integrate the labor market and potentially transition to PR ang makakakuha lamang ng work permit. Sasabihin ko na sa inyo, ang kutob ng maraming mga consultant na nabasa ko na nag-share ng update na ito. Isa sa biggest na matatabaan daw, palagay nila, ay yung mga SOWP holders. Spousal open work permits, maaari daw kasama sa mga i-require nito, Ms. G. What do you think about that? Yun din bang expectation mo, Ms. G?
When IRCC mentioned the International Mobility Program, no? So definitely kasama dyan yung spouses ng international students and ng mga foreign workers. No? Yun nga, historically, hindi naman requirement ang language test reports. By the way, Ms. Ina, let us clarify this one. International Mobility Program, ibig sabihin yan yung mga application ng work permit na entirely LMIA exempt.
Yeah.
No? Hindi kailangan ng LMIA to apply for a work permit. So again, dun sa spouses of international students and foreign workers, possible na madali yan ng regulations na yan or new policy in case.
Okay. Pero guys kaklaruhin lang po natin, hindi pa po naka-identify, wala pang source from Canada.ca na nagbabanggit which work permits under IMP ang maapektuhan. Yan yung aabangan natin. Pero ano ba yung mga types of work permits under IMP? As you mentioned, mga LMIA exempt. But can you give us yung mga naiintindihan natin, mga programs, Ms. Gia?
Sige. Siguro yung lagi nating naririnig, of course, the postgraduation work permit. No, or PGWP. It's an open work permit. Alam naman natin na after we successfully complete yung study dito sa Canada, then they can be issued the PGWP. Okay. Yung Francophone, you can apply for a work permit without the need of an LMIA. Kailangan nyo lang, vital document doon is yung language test, French language test report. That's also part of International Mobility Program. Okay. And the Bridging Open Work Permit. No? When you receive your AOR sa inyong PR application, di ba pwede kayo mag-apply ng Bridging Open Work Permit? Mm-hmm. So under the International Mobility Program din yan.
Yeah. Yung Francophone, Ms. G, na work permit under IMP, French lang ang nire-require sa ngayon Di ba?
Yes. French.
So, I won't be surprised. Baka nga naman, i-require din nila na magkaroon ng English proficiency para lang maka-adapt. Kasi, di ba dinidistribute na yung Francophones outside Quebec? As we know, hindi naman French speakers karamihan yung mga outside din Quebec. So, I won't be surprised kung kasama yan. Yung PGWP, parang rini-require na rin yata naman talaga already, hindi ba?
Yes,
o yung English.
Okay.
So talagang parang natitira yung spousal open work permit tsaka BOWP, we will see.
So if you can see that, Ms. Ina, di ba dati sa PGWP, hindi naman mandatory ang language test report. Yeah. And then they change. So that means to say IRCC is slowly moving in changing the regulations or policies na talaga. So, na lang yung iba like the PGWP and now parang may pahapyaw sa spouses of international students and foreign workers.
Correct. Nako, anong palagay mo, Ms. G? Kung i-enforce ito, lalo na sa mga spousal open work permit holders na alam natin, marami mga kababayan natin, bit-bit ang kanilang mga spouse. Marami kayang hindi makakakuha dahil dito?
Oo. Naku, alam mo naman kahit na sabi ko nga tayo mga Pilipino, magaling naman tayo na mag-adapt even the English language, pero malimit kasi inuunahan ng kaba, no? Oo. So definitely maraming diyan na nervyusin. No, but it is what it is. We have to follow kung ganun nga ang mangyayari. And I always say yung sa mga medyo ninenervous kumuha ng language test report, sabi ko practice. It's not really like mag-i-study ako because kukuha ako ng language test report. No, it's more of mag-practice. Siguro iwasan muna yung panonood ng mga Korean novela, yung mga, di ba? Telenovela. So focus muna tayo. I remember because for the licensing, I also had to go through the language test report.
Yeah.
Then nag-click sa akin yung sabi sa akin, That was the best tip, I believe, na na-receive ko. Sabi niya, yun nga, wag daw muna manood ng mga telenovela and mag-focus ako sa panonood ng mga news. No?
Yeah.
And I have to watch paano ba magsalita ang mga newscasters. Of course, those in English.
Yeah.
So yun, focus on that. And yeah, it worked. And then YouTube, no?
Yeah.
For practice. No,
Oo.
yeah, lakas lang ng loob, I would say, sa pagkuha ng language test.
Ayan mga tips yan. Although, as you know, dagdag requirement na naman ito. Pero for me, Miss G, I find it it makes sense in a way if your end goal is to apply for PR. Di ba? Kasi pagdating mo, di ba, many times pagdating mo dun sa PR, maggagawa ka din ng English test para, tumaas points mo or whatever. I mean, why do you think is IRCC going to this direction?
Sabi nga ng IRCC, the language or being able to adapt through the language is the largest predictor of success sa Canada. Diba? So alam natin yan that if you're put in a community or in a situation na hindi ka makakonverse into and imagine Canada is an English speaking country. No? So we really have to adapt as a culture sa language, and that is, I would say, like 90% na possible na magsasucceed ka sa Canada if you really know the language.
Oo, pero ayun na nga, guys, huwag kayong madali ng kaba. Do you have any experience, Ms. G, na baka meron kang client na dahil hindi magaling sa English, hindi rin ganun kaganda yung integration sa Canada? Kumbaga, it caused problems in their day-to-day life here. Meron ganung kwento ka ba?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. One of my clients, napag-usapan natin yan dati, yun nga. If you're even for me, like my experience when I was new here in Canada, meron akong colleague na, of course, we are not a native English speaker, and then put into like, let us say, all Canadians or all native English speaker. So magsasuffer talaga, Miss Ina, sa understanding the culture, the topics ng pinag-uusapan nyo. That can really conflict the situation.
Yeah. But I only hope this will not lead to the proliferation of fake o yung mga binebentang language proficiency tests. Sana naman hindi ito ang maging resulta nun para lang makapasa sila sa makakuha sila ng mga work permit nila. Yun yung problema dati. Okay. Ano pa ba, Miss G? Ito, wait I'm reading the article kasi, guys. Babalik ko lang Ayan. It could also, ito daw yung potential impacts, Proposed changes could impact businesses who recruit temporary workers, as the introduction of language testing requirements as an eligibility criteria under certain IMP streams may reduce the pool of eligible candidates. So for closed work permit holders, kasama rin sila, Ms. G?
It is still not mandatory yung pagsasabi ng language test report. Nothing on paper yet. No? Pero share ko rin yung experience ko from the beginning, from the very first work permit application na hinandle ko, and that was throughout the years. Hindi ko ginagawang mandatory ang language test report. Lahat siya na-approve. No problem. Until one time, nagsubmit ako ng work permit application without, again, walang language test report. Na-refuse ngayon yung aplikante ko. No? So, during those days, wala pa yung explanation ng visa officer bakit na-refuse. Right? So, what I did, I requested for the GCMS notes. Because I was like, parang nahit ang ego ko doon because I was not having any record of refusal sa work permit, and then here it is. Hindi ko maintindihan ang reason ng refusal. Nakalagay dun sa GCMS, it was in the absence of a language test report. Proof that the worker can converse. in English or in French.
Even if it was not technically required. Oo, parang
Yes, it was not. Oo. So from then on, ginagawa ko na siyang mandatory yung language test report to submit to support the application. And not talking the international about the international mobility program, is Ina. When you apply for an LMIA, no, di ba sa job description, there's a question there about technically ba kailangan nakakaintindi ng English ang worker. And of course, you have to say yes. Then doon pa lang parang, di ba, what can confirm your language? It's through the presentation and language test report.
I see.
So yeah, so from then on, Ms. Ina, it is highly recommended, even if it's not on paper yet or in regulation, submit a language test report to support the work permit application. No?
Yeah.
Depende talaga yan sa visa officer na mag-handle ng application nyo.
Okay. So guys, aabangan natin ano. Tsaka isa pang hindi rin na mentioned is kung ano ang magiging required level of proficiency for, again, ano yung magiging specific work permits na tatamaan ng proposal na ito. Pero pag ganitong proposal level, alam mo, ang observation ko, Ms. Lino, tuwing may proposal yung IRCC na mga pagbabago, magpapaconsult sila, di ba? They will give an initial idea already of what they want to happen. Pero bihira lang talaga na magkaroon ng big change doon sa initial proposal nila. Is it usual? Share mo ba yung observation na yun? Or has it also happened na parang may proposal tapos ay, ang laki ng binago resulting from the consultations that they usually do?
Most of the time, nangyayari talaga yung proposals nila.
Oh.
I have forwarded you one presentation that was actually from the IRCC, Ms. Ina, because I attended yung consultation, no? So through the consultation with IRCC, so lahat pwedeng mag-throw ng kanilang suggestions, no? What we have in mind to tawag dito para ma-provoke or yung gusto nilang baguhin sa regulations. So there were questions that very accommodating ang IRCC. In that consultation, there was one person who asked about I'm talking about the express entry consultation. So they were very understanding and nakikinig sa input ng mga nag-a-attend sa consultation.
Okay. Nakikinig. Pero, syempre makikinig sila. Pero parang sila pa rin ang nasusunod talaga in the end, no? Kung ano yung gusto nga nila.
But I hope i-consider nila yun. Kasi the way IRCC officer reacted was, parang oh yeah, you're right.
Right.
It makes sense. Yun ang sabi ng officer. So,
well, anyway guys, we will see. Isa po yan sa abangan natin. Sabi nga, magpa-publish sila nung parang ano tawag nila doon? Magpa-publish sila ng final amendments na ngayong spring, summer 2026. So, anytime na yan. And once they are out, I will give you an update about that for sure. Right away. Okay? Thanks so much, Ms. G, for your insights about this topic. Guys, yung email po ni Ms. G, yung gumagapang dyan sa ibaba if you wanna book a consult with her. Okay? I will end this episode here. Thanks so much. See you guys in the next one. Bye!